This is really about as flat as you can get here. There's not much going on at all. Q SPY just kind of moving sideways. SPY right here. These are regular candles on the SPY here. Just easing up to that 610.78. These are much too tight of candles for me to try to trade here. It's just really just we got to see some sort of a decent sized candle in here. These are just really tiny. I mean, you're just gonna watch the premiums on these options just fluctuate about 4 or 5 cents up and down. Buying just if it's possible, the candles are getting smaller. Very slow price action here. This is very tough to trade this. If you're trying to trade SPY super system here, you're looking at pennies. Small amount of selling here now.
On IPD and SC13D followed by Aorus Vertex. That's on IPDN.
Just way too slow here. These candles are way too small for me to even mess around with any of these things. I mean, we're coming off the 15, but there's just very, very tiny candles. The price action is really pretty horrible. T2104 now is flat as a pancake. Nothing I'm going to look to trade here right now. I'm going to look for some stocks. Yeah, and I'm not touching any of this price action. It's on the SPY super system. This is really tiny, tiny candles. No, no, no direction. We're starting to get a little bit of a move down here in the oscillator. So this could turn yellow as the SPY comes down toward the 15. Not going to touch it. William, ADI. Chip maker. Yeah, it has a well, D1 is orderly in the last few days. This is a pretty choppy stock. I mean, the daily chart on this thing is pretty choppy. It seems to go through these huge moves down. Like here, now it's bouncing back up over the 15. Is that the right stock? Crowd beautiful, Allie. Thank you. You had the M5 on the D1. I got you. It's a terrible one, is right. Sorry. Yeah, the M5 looks great on it. Again, I'm not touching any SPY super system trades with this garbage price action right now. This is just these candles are tiny, and just no reason to try to jump into anything here. All right, here comes the market coming in a little bit here now. This was kind of looked like that was what's going to happen, but again, I'm not jumping to any conclusions here. We're just going to watch. Again, this did turn yellow. It's coming back down. So green for the day pretty nicely though, so be careful about shorting. I'm not obviously going to touch any shorts on this right now. CLS, big move up here, now moving sideways. SMR, that's one of those nuclears, same as OKLO is. And NNE not doing too great today. It's up 78 cents, but it's pulled back from the high. There's HIMS, as mentioned a couple times, went to an all-time high, just kind of moving sideways. A lot of sideways movement right now, so be careful. Even the ones that are stacking green here is cascading up. Well, this is, I'm sorry, this is daily. Let me switch that back to 5 minute. There you go. This crowd has been mentioned a couple times. Yeah, nice relative strength in crowd. Very nice relative strength on crowd. Trying to break out. It's a nice setup. Crowd has pretty wide spreads on their options. Pretty expensive too. Of course, the stock's expensive. It's $400 stock. Pulling back a little bit now. Nice setup though on the daily. But not touching anything long right now until this market decides what it's going to do. SPY did not get to the all-time high. It came short of the all-time high. Let's look at the VWAP down there in the Qs. SPY as well. And the IWM is also quite a bit choppier than the market. It had a nice little run up here. I just played a quick trade in there, but I'm really not touching much of anything right now. Luna still looks pretty good here. Crowd looks good, but options are expensive. Looking at the February 14th options on crowd. The 395s, which are in the money by about 12 bucks, going for about $20 and close to $21 for crowd. All right, check any more questions we have here. This market's not doing anything. Gary, what are the R and RA on yellow tab? Okay, sorry about that. Right here. Anything that has an RA means it's posted in the room and I sent an alert out on it. Anything that just has an R means it's called out in the room, but there's no alert on it. And SPY Super System, obviously, I'm not gonna post or alert on. I'll just talk about them and let you know when the setups are coming. But that's what those mean in there. Somebody was asking, they come in, they didn't know, if they were room trades or alert trades or what. So I've put that code there. Palantir, pretty nice too. Yeah, Palantir is doing very nicely. It's got earnings on Monday, so I can't really trade it unless I intraday trade it, which in this market I'm not going to. I like crowd though. I do really like crowd, but it's expensive. I mean, to go out to February, to the February 14th, 395 calls, which are in the money. Those are in the money calls. Those are going for almost $2,100 a contract right now. Ali, next week's CDS might not be bad on it. Yeah, that's a good idea on crowd. You could do a call debit spread for next Friday. Who knows what next week's going to bring, but that's probably a decent idea to trade. You got 407, so what the strikes on these are at, let me see. Crowd strikes for February 7th. Yeah, 407.50. Do a $5 spread on this thing. Buy the 407.50s. Sell the 412.50s. Yeah, not that good. Well, it's not that good because I get the wrong ones in there. Yeah, it's about $2.22. $2.22 for a $5 spread. It's okay. 250 would be midpoint. I'd like to get in for a little less than that. The high on this thing is about 413. So I mean, if you thought it was going to run, you could do a 410, 415. You get it a lot cheaper, but I'm not going to do that. Crowd pulling back just a bit. SPY pulling back. Just really, really tiny candles here. Flat market. Nice little gap up. This nice little move up this morning, but still pretty flat right now. All right. Shy AVGO working the gap. Yeah, I noticed that last couple of days. It's got a couple of gap fills. It's in the middle of a gap here now. Has some room up to that big drop down that it took up to about 242. Get quite a bit of room to the upside on AVGO. Pretty nice chart on. Again, this got clobbered along with the other semiconductors on the AI news right there on Monday, and but it's recovered pretty nicely, and it's coming back up toward into this gap right here. That's kind of the gap that it's in. This line here is not valid anymore. Rocket Lab setting up like Lunar was. Yep, nice little pullback in Rocket Labs, right to the 8. This is kind of what he's talking about. There's Lunar right there. He's comparing it to Rocket Lab. See the pullback to the 8 right here? Pull back to the 8, right, actually right through the 15 right here. And here's our KOB right now. Right, pull back to the 8 and 15, bouncing off of it. Bull flag right here. This is a nice bull flag setup for Rocket Labs. Earnings of 225. Q's coming in now. Okay. Welcome to all the YouTube folks been watching us for a while. Not much of a day here. We had a nice little move this morning. Right here, a little gap up on the Qs. We had an overnight long call debit spread on the Qs that we took nice about 50% on this morning. We had the Q call debit spread get in for about $1.55 to $1.60 yesterday. We sold it for $2.50 this morning. And that was pretty nice. We also had gold overnight from yesterday in for $3.50, out for $4.30. Nice little profit on that one as well. Just not getting any warm fuzzy feeling here about this price action. Q's right back down below the 15 and between the 15 and the VWAP. Not something I'm going to trade. Same thing on the SPY. Again, I do like crowd. Set up pretty nicely, and I like Lunar. It does have some resistance above, however, right now on Lunar. Watching GoDaddy pulling back here, still up about 0.4% on the day. Daily chart doesn't look bad. Daily chart looks pretty decent here. Long-term momentum is showing yellow, however. Terrible price action. Not much to say here right now. This is markets is pretty crappy. Price action is pretty crappy. Q's coming right back toward the VWAP here. Again, we get the bearish momentum right now on the Qs and on the SPY. But I'm waiting to see what they do around the VWAP. This is pretty small, slow price action right now. T2104 is showing a little bit more bullishness now. Not tremendously, but it is slightly bullish. Philip, 608, 609 is a huge resistance on the SPY. Yeah, and that's close to the all-time high on the SPY. The high on the SPY today was 609.96, almost 610, and 610.78 is the all-time high. So there's all resistance in there in this whole area where it's trading right now, but no high volume resistance. No high volume resistance. 60. The last high volume resistance was 606.41. There's no high volume resistance up here. There's resistance based on the highs of the candles, but there's not an awful lot of high volume resistance at all. But obviously it's going to struggle through here. It's been 608, 609 is what he's mentioning, and that's somewhere between there and the all-time high. There's going to be resistance, and you're going to need some volume to push through there. We're really not getting any volume. Volume on the SPY today, 10 million shares, which is, we normally trade almost 50 million a day, so very low volume. So I'm not concerned about a reversal. Are you talking about on the daily or on the 5-minute, Philip? I mean, the market's been chopping here for a good long time. If I look at the SPY daily chart, right, here's the SPY daily chart, and since we had this was the previous Fed meeting, we're just chopping all over the place here. We're big move down. We come right back up. We're getting close to the high. So yeah, you always have to be concerned about whether it's going to break out here or not. It's getting a little extended, but I'm not going to trade a reversal here, because I don't know if we're going to get through this high or not. Last time we ripped through it and turned around and head back down again, so we may do the same thing. But I'm always concerned about reversals. This price action in here. This is the price action. This is more bullish here. This is bullish here. This is pretty bullish here. This was a nice bullish run. This is garbage. This is absolute garbage of gaps of up and down all over the place with just basically sideways price action, but with a lot of gaps in there. So am I concerned? I'm always concerned about reversals. I'm not overly bullish. I don't have a lot of trades on right now. I'm doing some credit spreads and some weekly ATMs that are looking for basically sideways type moves. So, but I'm not going to trade a reversal until I get one. Next few days, perhaps. But I mean, I don't try to predict the market. I mean, every time the market gets high like this, there's always going to be people saying, that we're going to have the market's going to pull down. There's a lot of indicators telling us that things are going to fall apart. I got to wait to see it before. I'm not going to trade. I'm not going to try to anticipate any kind of a reversal in the market. Most of the trades I'm taking here are intraday trades or just short-term trades. I don't have a lot of stuff on right now. So, got this put credit spread on Tesla. We took this Q debit spread all the night. We've been trading some of these gaps and hit some good nice gaps on the Qs and on the SPY overnight. But those are really quick trades. Only longer term trading going on right now is an Urban, which is just kind of grinding sideways off of a bull flag. SPY just coming back down. Again, these are small candles, low volume. Nothing here to me to indicate any kind of a huge move one way or the other. Because you can always get news like we did yesterday, but that that got quickly reversed. So market is, as I just showed you the SPY daily chart, it's a mess. It's a mess for the last 2 months. Trying to trade swing trades in this kind of crap market is really difficult. So I'm sticking mostly to intraday stuff, and I'm not even touching intraday right here. Watching the SPY as it bounces off the VWAP. With the 15 right there. But again, we've got momentum red here right now, so we get selling momentum. So, but I'm not going to short it. If I can find any really good shorts, I will probably take some. One or two. SPY coming down to the VWAP here. The next support on the SPY, 606.41. 606.41. Fine, just hitting the VWAP and just bouncing off of it. Crowd's still looking pretty good. Crowd's still got decent relative strength. Pendle. With the Qs, I just took 20-cent profit short. I got in when I went below the 15 EMA. Let's take a look at it. Did go below the 15 EMA right here. Yeah, I mean, this is a setup, but I don't take it because the VWAP is so close. But at 11:40, after a few small red candles right here. Yeah, let's take a look at Fibonacci on it. Yeah, reversal was actually right here, but you took it as it broke below the 15. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that trade. Again, you've got the VWAP right down here, so you know your resistance on that is going to be, well, is the support that's going to stop you is fairly close. Entered. Second, it hit the VWAP at 11:43. Exited. Yeah, that's fine. Again, that's a fairly scalpy. Is it consistent with the rules? It is consistent with the rules. Yeah. It's consistent with the SPY super system rules as long as you understand what your potential profit target is. I'd rather see the SPY Qs have more room to the downside when I take it, but that's a setup. You notice right here it went yellow, broke down below the 15 right there, so that's your entry. But this is how much room you've got, so just you have to be aware of that. I think that I like to have more room to the downside, but that's not a bad entry. And if it's more like a fairly scalpy trade. You're probably only going to get one or two candles at the most out of that. But I'm glad you made money on it, and it was valid, absolutely valid. See if any more questions there. Welcome, folks that are watching on YouTube. If you have any questions on YouTube, just go ahead and pop them in the chat box. I'll be happy to answer them for you. Q's pulling back down again, going up, bouncing up right here to the 15, coming off the 15 now. It's stuck right in this range right here. Not really a lot of volume, not a lot of direction. This is pretty market that's just kind of drifting around right now. Again, the T2104 right now is fairly flat. It's flat to slightly bullish, but really pretty neutral. Miami, the blue arrows above the candles, what they mean. These are what's called pop out of the box or pops arrows. These tell you that there's a compression break taking place. There's compression break taking place. You look at the bottom of these candles right here. There's two or three of them that come to the same level. This is put in by the software. So you get a compression break, you get a compression break. You can use them like for if you're going long or something, or going short. You can kind of use them as a guide, but again, they're just one. They're not an indicator I trade off of. I trade off of the SPY super system setup that we are following. Basically, this current time frame momentum with the VWAP and the 15 is support and resistance levels. Yeah, not much of a trading day really. We had a couple of good trades. We had gold overnight that we took a nice profit in. We had the Q call debit spread overnight. We took advantage of that gap up based on the T2104 divergence. That worked out nicely. We got Tesla with a put credit spread on Tesla. That's for the 14th, which is pretty nice. Tesla's, by the way, getting through the algo line right now. Just creeping through the algo line. Try it again, chopping around here. Lunar doing the same thing. About 12 o'clock here right now.
Coming from NVIDIA blog, says accelerate deep seek reasoning models with NVIDIA GeForce RTX 50 series AI PCs. 400 workers, fires, some without a severance.
Not much going on here. It's about noon lunchtime. It looks like it's lunchtime. The market's just drifting sideways here. The Q is doing the same thing. IWM doing the same thing. Crowd moving sideways. Crowd's pretty flat here, but it's got some decent, reasonable relative strength. A lot of sideways movement right here. So really, I don't see any particular reason to jump into stuff. Bank of America, we're going to roll today. It's right now trading at 46.47. We got about $70 for those puts when we sold them. So anything above 46.30 would give us a little bit of a profit on the puts, and we'll just roll out the 47 puts to next week, and likely we'll capture additional premium. There'll be quite a bit more additional premium probably on that next week.
we're seeing a little volatility in markets. President Trump to issue tariffs against Canada and Mexico that start March 1st. That's what sources are saying. Once again, Trump expected to issue tariffs against Canada and Mexico that will begin on March 1st. The social media circulations.
That was news on tariffs coming up. Now they're supposedly going to put them on Mexico and Canada March 1st, not February 1st, March 1st. So this is what you get. Whoop, whoop. Remember that big dump yesterday, right here? Tariff talk coming February 1st. No, coming March 1st. It's very similar to 2016 when we went through all this stuff in the January, February, March time period. A lot of volatility. You just have to kind of take this stuff with a grain of salt.
Exemptions for certain imports. But says they will be few and far between.
There's going to be a process for countries to seek exemptions for certain products. It's a quagmire. What is the plan for the short leg of the back spread expiring today? We'll buy it back. Mendel, we'll buy it back this afternoon, and at the same time we buy it back, we'll sell one for next week. You just do it as one trade. One trade. If I look at Bank of America right now, if I look at the pricing on it, let me bring it up. Bank of America. So right now, the January 31st put, it's bid 50, ask 54. We collected 69, so we're up about close to 20 cents on that. So if I was to, what I would do is I set up a trade to buy that one back, all right, and at the same time I would sell the February 7th $47 put. And if I sell that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a $30 credit between this week and next week. So I'll be up some money this week, and I'll be adding another potential $30 profit for next week's. So I would buy back this week's 47 and sell the February 7th 47. Okay, and I would do it for a 30-cent right now, it's 30-cent credit. And we'll wait. You can do it now if you want to, but I'm going to wait till a little bit later this afternoon, see if we get a bigger bounce. Because if Bank of America bounces a little bit, then the premium for this week that we can buy it back will drop faster than the premium for next week will, because of the additional time. So we'd make a little bit of extra money on it. Alexandra Moore, just tariff talk. Alexandra, this, again, some news is important. There's going to be a lot of miscellaneous stuff that comes out that the algos react to, but don't really mean anything. This is why you're getting these big tails on the candlesticks here. Sell off, buying back, sell off, buying back. But you're right in the same spot. Not much to talk about here. The market's just remarkably flat. We had a nice gap up this morning in the SPY. Nice gap up. We had the Q calls that worked out nicely. We had a little bit of a move, but then this pullback here, and this really not, we're not really doing anything. Just putting in a lot of hammer bars.
On the UL Unilever talk of considering a NYSE public listing of their ice cream unit.
Tesla's a breakout, Alexander. Yeah, it's trying to get out through that line. So I do like it long, as long as it stays above the line. It's got room to 427.01 here, 427.01. Just got a Heikeneicher reversal on it, or continuation actually, on Tesla. But just be careful. I mean, look at the market here. I mean, I'm not going to jump into a Tesla long when the Q's are doing this. Yeah, about 12:17. I'm going to take lunch here in about 10 minutes. I'm really not doing much trading here today at all. I mean, I took one quick trade in IWM this morning for 15 cents, and that's it. And I haven't traded anything else. Very low probability trading environment here right now. LPTE, as we call it. This is very low probability. Market's just not doing too much of anything here. We look at the SPY on a daily chart. This is what we've got right now. Gap up, gap up, gap up. And looking at the all-time high right here, this is where we are in this candle right here. So can we pull back? Yeah, we easily could pull back. We can break out. Yeah, but we don't have any volume. See how low that volume candle is right there? So I don't really have much enthusiasm for the market either direction right now. This Tesla is just breaking above that algo line. It needs to stay above that, about 415.80 to stay long in Tesla. Still looks pretty good here though. Fibonacci candles on it, 5-minute candles. A little Fibonacci continuation flat bottom right here. Now we're getting a little bit of chop again.
On MAZE IPO for the day as open a couple minutes ago. MAZE Maze Therapeutics.
Q's bouncing here now. Got blue bouncing off through the 15. That's a SPY super system setup. You gotta say this through this 15. Let's take a look at Fibonacci candles on here. See what we're looking at. We're not looking at a reversal yet. Still got a tail on there. Off of regular candles, you could take this, but you're not getting a confirmation of the break yet.
Members watching this volatility index, the VIX, hitting new lows of the day at 1505, down almost 5%. That's the VIX trending back to levels pre that deep steep pop. So we're heading back to lows in the near the January 24th, 23rd.
VIX keeps coming in down to 1530 here. Not much fear here in the market. Q's trying to bounce. Again, I wait for a Fibonacci reversal personally, especially today.
Watch this volume moving upward. UPWK trading at highs of the day now.
There's your Fibonacci reversal candle right there on the Q's. I took a few Q calls here on this Fibonacci reversal through the 15. Again, very small. I'm not taking an average size position. I don't have a lot of confidence in these moves here right now. So I took a little bit of a position on Qs off of the SPY super system. Again, blue moving off of the 15 right here with a Fibonacci reversal candle. And we had a couple of tails here and now a Fibonacci reversal. So I took the Qs here. It was around 530.40 or something like that when I took it. I'm not looking for a big move here at all. Again, I'm in these Q calls. I actually took Monday's expiration on these things, but you could have taken today's expiration. I just don't want to get too much time decay. Switch these over to regular candles now, so I can watch what's happening. And I'm going to take lunch in a minute here, so I'm just going to grab some profits here pretty quickly. Watch to see if it breaks out of this dynamic compression zone here. I'm up about 12 cents on these things right now, that's all. All right, I'm going to get some lunch. I just took profits on these Qs. 12 cents, nothing big, fine for me. He says I'm going to get something to eat. Okay, I'm out of that trade. Might keep on going. And if you're in it, I hope it does. There's no reason to get out except I'm going to get lunch. These are regular candles right here, but again, you can see the price action we've had. I don't, how much run up do we expect here after these two green candles? I'm not expecting a lot. I'm out. Williams at T2104 turning bullish. Yeah, it is getting some slope to it. This is the biggest bullish move we've had in the T2104 today. Again, I'm out of the Qs right here. Ali, I know most aren't going to wait for the Tesla pull. Good credit spread with 50% one day isn't bad. No, it's not. Is it going that? Is it down that low right now?
On that volume pop UPWK.
Let's see what I got on Tesla. Yeah, 55 cents right now, 54 cents. So yeah, about 50% of the total that you can get. Not 50% profit, but about 50% of the maximum gain that you're going to take. The maximum profit on it is $1 out of $4. So you have a 25% total return, which is the maximum you can get on the spread. But right now we've got half of that already back to us in one day. And if you want to take some of those off, I don't see any problem with that at this point. If you can get them for like 50 cents, that's pretty good. Because Tesla's having a pretty decent day. It's pulling back a little bit right now. Again, it's fighting that algo line. In fact, it's pulled back below that algo line right now. Benjamin, curious as why I chose the options on the Qs instead of the NQ. I'm not trading futures over here in my trade here. I could trade futures in trade here, but I don't have it set up to trade futures. And when I trade futures, normally I trade off of Ninja, but there's no reason why not to trade the NQ. I have to pay a commission if I trade the NQ. I don't have to pay any commissions on the Qs because with Tradier I pay flat fee per month like of $20 and I don't have to pay any commission, so I have no commissions on the Qs. But the NQ is fine. You can trade the NQ just the same. I mean, it's going to look pretty similar. There it is. Looks exactly the same, doesn't it? So you can trade the NQ. And if you like trading futures, nothing wrong with that. You have more leverage on them. Again, I'm out of the Qs, probably with a good reason. I didn't expect an awful big move in that, so. Okay, I'm going to get something to eat. Let me go ahead over to the YouTube and close that one down for the day. Thanks everybody watching on YouTube. Been had it running for about an hour and 20 minutes, so I'm going to go ahead and close it to today. I'll be back on Monday about between 11 and 11:15 or so to get it up and going again. Thanks so much, and everybody from YouTube, have a great weekend.